What's up, drone enthusiasts? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now because we're diving deep into gear reviews that actually matter. Today we're tackling something controversial, the brand new prop guards for the DJI Mini 5 Pro. Now, I know what you're thinking. Prop guards? Really? How exciting can that be? But here's the thing. These aren't your typical prop guards. DJI completely redesigned them from the ground up, and the results are, well, let's just say, complicated. I've spent the last 2 weeks putting these through every possible scenario, and I've got footage, data, and honest opinions that you won't find anywhere else. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's get into it. And seriously, watch until the end because the final verdict might completely change your mind about whether you need these or not. Availability and the price controversy. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room, availability and pricing. When DJI launched the Mini 5 Pro, these official 360-degree prop guards weren't part of the initial release, which honestly had a lot of people scratching their heads. I mean, if you're releasing a drone marketed toward beginners and enthusiasts who want a lightweight, portable option, wouldn't prop guards be a day-one accessory? Apparently not. DJI released them later, and they required a firmware update to version Aero 1.00.0400 or later for proper compatibility and flight stability. I managed to snag mine through third-party retailers after they launched. Now, here's where things get interesting from a pricing perspective. These official DJI 360-degree prop guards with integrated propellers will set you back between $39 and $50 for a complete set of 4, depending on where you buy them. At first glance, that seems reasonable, right? But here's the catch, and this is huge. The propellers are permanently integrated into the guards. You can't replace them separately. If one guard gets damaged, you're buying an entire new set. Compare that to standard DJI props, which cost $11 for a pair, meaning $22 for 4 propellers. So you're essentially paying roughly double for the privilege of having guards with integrated props attached. Now, is that worth it? Well, that depends entirely on your use case, and we're going to break that down in detail. But before we do, let me show you something that actually impressed me about the design. Keep watching because the weight analysis coming up might completely change your perspective on these. Unboxing and design analysis. Let's get hands-on with these and talk about what makes them genuinely innovative. When I first pulled these out of the box, my immediate reaction was surprise at how lightweight they feel. We're talking approximately 16 grams per guard, which means all 4 together add just over 60 grams to your Mini 5 Pro. For context, that's roughly the weight of a standard chicken egg. Considering what you're getting in terms of protection, that's actually impressive engineering. But here's where DJI really thought outside the box. Literally, these guards feature built-in magnets. Now, I know that sounds like a small detail, but when you're out in the field, fumbling with accessories, or trying to organize your gear bag, this is a game changer. After you remove them from the drone, they snap together magnetically, so you can keep them paired and prevent them from rattling around or getting separated. They can even magnetically attach to the fuselage for convenient storage and transport. It's one of those subtle design choices that shows DJI was thinking about real-world usage scenarios. The construction quality feels solid, not cheap or flimsy like some third-party options I've tested in the past. The plastic has a nice matte finish that doesn't attract fingerprints, and the integrated propellers have the same reinforced design as standard DJI props. You've got the familiar orange and gray color coding system, which makes installation foolproof. Speaking of which, the quick release mechanism is something we need to discuss because it's completely different from traditional prop guards. But before we get into installation, there's something critical you need to understand about the limitations these impose on your drone. This next section could literally save you from a frustrating experience, so don't skip ahead. Installation Masterclass. Alright, let's talk about getting these properly installed because there are some important details here that could prevent headaches down the road. First things first, you cannot leave these on when your drone is folded. The guards extend beyond the arm's folding radius, which means you'll need to remove them every single time you pack up. Now, DJI designed them with a quick release system specifically for this reason, but it's still an extra step in your workflow that you need to be aware of. Also, before you even install these, make absolutely sure your Mini 5 Pro firmware has been updated to version Aero 1.0.0400 or later. Without this firmware update, flight stability cannot be guaranteed, and you could run into serious issues. Here's how the system works. Each motor housing on your Mini 5 Pro has small grooves molded into it. The prop guards have corresponding clips that snap directly into these grooves. Start by matching the color codes. Orange guards go on orange motors, gray on gray. This isn't just for aesthetics. It corresponds to the propeller rotation directions. Hold the guard above the motor, align it carefully, and press down firmly until you hear and feel a click. That click is crucial. It means the guard is properly seated. Now, here's a mistake I made the first time, and I want to save you from the same error. When you press the guard on, make sure you're applying even pressure. If you push down at an angle or don't seat it completely, it might feel secure but isn't actually locked in place. The good news? The drone is smart enough to detect this. If you try to take off with an improperly seated guard, you'll get an immediate error message on your controller, and the motors won't spin up. It's a safety feature that I really appreciate. Removal is just as easy. Grip the guard firmly, pull straight up with steady pressure, and it pops right off. No tools required, no complicated twisting mechanisms. I timed myself, and I can get all 4 guards on in under 90 seconds once you've done it a few times. The real question is, are the limitations these guards impose worth the convenience of this installation system? That's what we're covering next, and this is where things get controversial. Hidden restrictions nobody talks about. This is the section that DJI doesn't hide, but that many people might overlook. And it's absolutely critical that you understand this before making a purchase decision. The moment you attach these prop guards, your Mini 5 Pro becomes a fundamentally different aircraft with hard-coded firmware limitations that you cannot override. The drone automatically detects the guards and enforces these restrictions. Let me be crystal clear about what that means. First, altitude restriction. You're capped at 120 meters. About 394 feet. Now, in most countries, that's the legal maximum altitude anyway. So for most pilots, this isn't a deal breaker. But here's the thing. Even if you're in an area where higher flight is permitted, or if you're flying with special authorization, the drone will not allow you to exceed this limit with the guards installed. The software detects the guards and enforces this ceiling automatically. Second, and this is the big 1. Distance limitation. You can only fly 500 meters from your takeoff point. That's 1,640 feet. Or roughly 5 football fields. For many recreational pilots, this is perfectly adequate. But if you're used to exploring vast landscapes, tracking subjects over longer distances, or doing any kind of extended range filming, this becomes a serious constraint. The drone will give you both audible and visual warnings as you approach this limit, and it will simply refuse to fly farther. Third, environmental limitations. DJI explicitly warns that these guards significantly reduce wind resistance. On a moderately windy day, we're talking maybe 15 to 20 mile-per-hour winds, I could barely achieve 10 meters per second in sport mode. That's roughly 22 miles per hour when your Mini 5 Pro is normally capable of almost double that. But here's what concerns me even more. The warning about potential signal interference and reduced obstacle avoidance. Effectiveness. Think about that for a second. You're adding these guards specifically for protection, but they might actually compromise the drone's ability to detect and avoid obstacles. That's an irony that's hard to ignore. Stay with me because the real-world testing results coming up will show you exactly how significant these limitations actually are in practice. Real-world flight test results. All right, let's get to what you really came here for. Actual flight performance. I conducted multiple test flights under various conditions, and I'm going to give you the unfiltered truth about how these guards perform when rubber meets air. First test scenario, indoor flying. I took the drone into a large indoor space and intentionally flew close to walls, columns, and obstacles. This is where these guards genuinely shine. I had several light impacts with walls where the guards made contact and the drone bounced away safely without any issues. The propellers never touched anything solid, and the drone maintained stable flight throughout. For indoor real estate photography, inspection work, or if you're just learning to fly and practicing indoors, these guards provide legitimate peace of mind. Outdoor test number 1. Tracking through light vegetation. This was my primary use case interest. Flying through areas with overhanging branches, following trails through wooded areas, that kind of scenario. The results were mixed, but generally positive. On multiple occasions, the guards made contact with small branches and leaves, and the drone continued flying without incident. However, I want to be very clear here. This is not a license to fly recklessly through forests. These guards will help with incidental contact, but they're not going to save your drone if you fly directly into a tree trunk at speed. Think of them as a bumper, not a crash prevention system. Battery performance. This is where reality sets in. DJI states that battery life will be reduced, and they're not exaggerating. In my testing, I was getting roughly 20 to 25% less flight time compared to flying without guards. More importantly, The return-to-home function triggered much earlier than usual. On one flight, I was only 500 meters away with 44% battery remaining when the drone initiated an automatic return. That's significantly more conservative than the normal threshold. If you're planning a flight that requires maximum range or flight time, you'll need to factor this in seriously. Wind performance was probably the most disappointing aspect. On a day with moderate winds, nothing extreme, just typical spring conditions, the drone struggled noticeably. Maximum speed in sport mode was just over 9 meters per second, and the drone was fighting constantly to maintain position. I could feel the lag in response to control inputs, and there were moments where I genuinely questioned whether I should continue the flight. If you live in a consistently windy area, these guards might spend more time in storage than on your drone. The real question we need to answer now is, given all these limitations and performance impacts, who should actually consider buying these? That's coming up next, and the answer might not be what you expect. Who should actually buy these? Let's have an honest conversation about whether these belong in your gear bag. After extensive testing and analysis, I can identify 4 specific user profiles who will genuinely benefit from these prop guards. And honestly, if you don't fall into one of these categories, you should probably save your money. Category 1. Brand new pilots who are still learning basic flight controls. If you're within your first month of drone ownership and you're still getting comfortable with spatial awareness, control inputs, and flight dynamics, these guards could prevent expensive learning experiences. Indoor practice sessions become much less stressful when you know a miscalculation won't result in damaged propellers or worse. The confidence boost alone might be worth the investment during your learning phase. Category 2. Professionals doing frequent indoor work. If you're a real estate photographer, industrial inspector, or anyone else who regularly flies indoors in confined spaces, these guards are a legitimate business expense that could save you money long term. The 500-meter range limitation doesn't matter indoors, and the protection value is highest precisely in these environments. Factor in the cost of potential drone damage or replacement, and $39 starts looking very reasonable. Category 3. Content creators doing close proximity tracking shots. If you're filming mountain bike trails, running footage through wooded areas, or any scenario where you're intentionally flying near obstacles for cinematic effect, these guards provide an extra margin of safety. Yes, you'll sacrifice some speed and flight time, but the ability to get closer to subjects and navigate tighter spaces might be worth that trade-off for the specific shots you're trying to capture. Category 4, and this might be controversial, parents who fly with their kids around. If you're teaching your children to fly, or you're operating in environments where curious kids might get close to the drone, having that extra physical barrier around spinning propellers is simply responsible. Safety should always be the priority in these situations. Now, who should avoid these? Experienced pilots who primarily fly outdoors in open areas, anyone who regularly needs long-range flights, landscape photographers who require maximum flight time, and pilots in consistently windy regions. For these users, the limitations outweigh the benefits. But before you make your final decision, there are 2 critical points I need to share in the conclusion that could completely change your perspective. Closing section. So, here's my final verdict after 2 weeks of intensive testing. These prop guards are a highly specialized tool, not a universal accessory. They excel in specific situations, but impose real limitations that you cannot ignore. The engineering is solid, the magnetic storage is clever, and when used in appropriate scenarios, they genuinely work. But you need to be honest with yourself about your actual flying style and needs. If you made it this far in the video, thank you seriously for sticking with me through this deep dive. I want to know your thoughts. Are you planning to pick these up? Do you have questions I didn't answer? Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation going. If you found this review helpful, smash that like button because it genuinely helps more pilots find honest, detailed content like this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our in-depth gear reviews and flight tutorials. Before you go, I've got something exciting coming next week. I'm comparing the Mini 5 Pro against its biggest competitors in an ultimate showdown that's going to settle some debates once and for all. You're not going to want to miss that one. Until then, fly safe, fly smart, and remember, the best gear is the gear that matches your actual needs, not just what's newest or shiniest. I'll see you in the next video. Now get out there and fly.